welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you on tonight's show, especially as we are joined by a very special guest. Oh yes, she's appeared in all the major soaps. It's Debbie Arnold, and here is what happened when I caught up with her. Debbie, it's lovely to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm fine. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure. And I know that you have been mega busy, particularly in lockdown. Obviously, we're sort of coming out now. But what have you been up to?
Well, I've actually started 2 online shows, can you believe it? Yes. On the eve of lockdown, I got a sort of a show together with a group of friends and called Wonderbirds, which has just hit 10 million viewers on Facebook and YouTube,
Wow.
Which ain't bad. And we do 3 shows a week, which is amazing, and my brain is sort of addled with that. And then to top it all, I decided to do another show with Linda Lusardi called The Beauty Angels, and that's only done 2 episodes so far, and the last one is, it's going up to 30,000, 40,000 views, an episode. So
Wow.
I'm really knocked out with it all. So
Yes.
Thank you everybody for watching, and it's been fun.
Yes, that is what we'd like to hear. Well, we're going to listen to some of your song choices. I know you've got some brilliant ones. Hit us, Debbie, with your first song choice.
Well, the first song choice I had to choose, didn't I? It's my son-in-law. He won Eurovision in 2015. His name is Mons Zemelov, and he won with Heroes. And this is a song that's very poignant, actually. It's about bullying, when he was bullied when he was a kid. And when you see this man, he's so confident, won Eurovision. I think it's a very, very important song. And as ambassador of the National Bullying Helpline, I felt it was important to show everybody that you can be a success after being bullied. And it's called On My Way.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful song with a really beautiful video as well. So we're going to check it out, and we'll see you after this. Now, I want to rewind to how everything started for you, Debbie, because you grew up, didn't you, with the showbiz family, right?
My father was an impressionist called Debbie Arnold, and my mother was an agent called Mary Arnold. So I kind of grew up with, knowing all of the people that, my dad, when he died very, very young, but I grew up with everybody, like Morecambe and Wise and, all those sort of people, Tommy Cooper, that were friends of my dad. Then my dad died tragically young. And then my mother married she married again, and then she became one of the top theatrical agents in the business. So I kind of grew up then with all the sort of pop stars in the sort of 60s and 70s. And it was a very interesting childhood, to say the least, very sort of bohemian and wild, and I saw a lot of things growing up, but I met a hell of a lot of people, and it was fantastic. When I think about it now, the people that I knew, growing up with all of those people, and Des O'Connor, and everyone, Jimmy Tarbuck, the names of all of these people who were just friends of the family. And then they looked after when my mum married my stepfather. They looked after the Paper Dolls, the Rocking Berries, Pink Floyd, David Bowie, among others. They just handled sort of everybody in the sort of late 60s, early 70s. God. So I kind of grew up with all of that. Yeah,
just incredible. And I've got here, you're the only actress in the UK who has appeared in every major soap in the last 30 years as a regular character. I mean, that is incredible. What's your secret, Debbie?
What's the secret? I don't know. I just got one of those faces. I think because I can do lots of different accents as well. But I always wanted to go into Coronation Street. That was my dream. And I went in there.
Love Corrie.
The first time I went in was in the early 80s. The only reason that I was invited to go in was that I used to write poems to the producer, Bill Podman. And one day I got a call from the casting director who said, he's only seeing you because he wants you to stop writing in poetry. So here I am. The first line, I never forget this. The first line that I had, the character called Sylvie Hicks, and I had to say to Mike Baldwin, do you know what you are, Mike? You're as slippery as a wet willy. And I thought, if I say wet willy, my whole career is over. I didn't say wet willy.
But you didn't, just to confirm. Brilliant. Love that. Oh, fantastic. Well, we're going to go into your second choice, Our House, Madness. Absolute tune. Why this one?
Oh, I loved it. I loved the musical, actually. I took my kids. It was one of the best things, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Won loads and loads of awards. It didn't run that long, but if it's ever out, if you ever see that it's on anywhere, go and see it. It's enlightening. You come out and your heart sings. It's just wonderful. And this is the theme song for it. And I love Madness anyway, because they're so much fun. Yes,
they really are. We'll check this out and we'll see you just after this.
Sorry. Just love it. I love it.
I'm loving Debbie's energy today. Just brilliant. Exactly what we need. Now, I want to talk more about Wonderbirds because it really is a fantastic show. I've seen a couple of them. I really like the one, Paul O'Grady was on it. Just fantastic.
Wasn't it
and
funny?
what I love about it most is there's no rules. Yeah, there's no rules. It's just like a group of friends. You're having a really good time. There's no boundaries. And it's so relatable. And especially after lockdown, I think it's something that we all just need, isn't it?
Well, it was fun. I mean, as I said, it started the eve of lockdown. We went to lockdown on Wednesday the Thursday.
God.
And we did our first show on the Friday. And it kind of has just grown from there. And we've got a huge, loads and loads of regular fans that watch it. But it's a fun show. We do have lots of fun. Sherry, I've known Sherry for thousands of years, and Harriet and Dee, so they are all my mates.
you?
And it is
Yeah.
just, and we did talk quite seriously about, how we were affected by lockdown, how we felt and how, how things happened. And actually today we've just done a show, we've just been talking about bras. So there you go.
I mean, we need to know this information.
We do.
We really do.
It's very, very
and
important.
this is exciting. The Wonderbirds live at the Duchess Theatre on Monday the 28th of June. What can we expect? Because I definitely want a front row seat.
You can have a front row seat, but I'm not going to tell you what you can expect, except God is going to be there. I love him. I love him.
Yes.
I've always loved him. Yeah, and lots of other sort of guest stars. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But I think the most important thing is, though, that you can see Wonderbirds every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on YouTube or on Facebook. And then we do a Saturday special with Richard Arnold. And he's sort of there 90% of Saturdays. And we have so much fun with him. He's a wonder bloke.
Yes, love him. Well, again, we're going to put details on the screen below of how you can tune in. Make sure you do. It's a good one. And the next song, when I saw this song choice, I was so happy about this. From Tangled, I See the Light. Now, I am definitely more of a Tangled person than a Frozen person, so this sat well with me.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? And it was sung at my daughter's wedding.
Oh,
it was
really?
just beautiful. And I'd never ever heard it before, and it's just lovely. So my daughter is a Tangled freak. And I
Relate
said,
to
where's
that.
that song from? She said Tangled. And since then I've watched Tangled about 4,000 times, so I'm a Tangled freak now as well.
Well, this is one of the most beautiful songs I have ever heard. I was listening to it all day today. Just beautiful. Enjoy this. Now, we've got some questions from our lovely viewers. Carol would like to know, you've done everything from the light-hearted comedy to serious theatre. What has been your absolute highlight?
Well, I think starring opposite Omar Sharif in The Sleeping Prince at the Haymarket Theatre and all over the country and everywhere else was probably the biggest. That was the highlight of my career for me personally. I absolutely love doing that, and all the I mean, to work with such a big star. And I mean, I think if that would have happened today, I mean, the publicity around it would have been huge. But then, I mean, 900 people auditioned for it, and I was the person that got it.
Wow,
it was fantastic. It was fantastic. And then I met all of his friends, people like Charlton Heston and Prince Rainier and all these people coming to see the show, Jack Lemmon. It was just one of those dreams come true jobs, really. It was amazing, and I loved every second of it.
Wow, just incredible. And Maggie would like to know, what's the funniest thing that has ever happened on set?
Well, as I said, it's a pretty funny one, the Coronation Street one. There's too many funny things that happen all the time, and some of them are a bit too naughty to tell you. Actually, to be honest with you, but there are things I'll tell you. But there are things that happen all the time. I mean, as you know, that just it's so lovely when you laugh, especially actually on stage. It's probably the worst. Can you hear my dogs barking?
Oh, is it your dog? I can. Is it 4 dogs you've got?
Well, at the moment I've got 4 here at the moment. Yes, they're a sort of a family of dogs and a Chihuahua who keeps them all in control. So they're Springer dogs. But there are some wonderful funny things that happen. But basically, I think the most funny things happen on stage because that's live and you can't sort of go back to you know, things going. It just goes. And I think I've done shows where stupid things, but they really get you going. I did a play called There's a Girl in My Soup, and I had to cook. It was a stove on stage, and literally this cooker just fell off. I mean, it fell off the set. You know, and how people say, "Oh, just carry on." How can you carry on when something you're cooking is just fallen down? But and all things like, you know, you turn one light on the stage and another light comes on, you know, miles away, and then you turn the other light off and this one goes on. It's just, technical things make me laugh. People don't always make me laugh, but technical things going wrong, that's a big one for me.
We're going to go into your next song, David Bowie, the Gene Genie. Why this one?
My parents absolutely adored him, and he was, you know, one of those sort of, if you like, few artists that they kind of nurtured. And then Space Oddity came, he got another management, and then lots of different things went on. But then when I saw him do Ziggy Stardust and I saw it on Top of the Pops, I knew something had changed in him. That was it. I knew that. And so the Gene Genie was the next hit after Starman, and so it was just wonderful to see him. By that time, he'd really broken. So that was sort of probably end of 72, maybe 73, sort of about 16 or 17. It was just remarkable to see it. And the Gene Genie has just got such, it's just such an amazing song. God only knows what it's about. I've got no idea.
We're going to check out the video. See you after this. Talk about Beauty Angels that we briefly talked about earlier with Linda Lusardi. Now, this is an online beauty show for all ages, screened twice a month. I feel like this is my thing. I need beauty tips. I love beauty tips, especially after lockdown. Bring it on. What can we expect?
Well, everything you wanted to know. You know, we've got an Instagram page as well, which is the.beautyangels, and you can ask us questions. But it's all the things that you really need to know, questions that people don't want to ask. We have a Dr. Tracy Mountford, who tells us about the face and how it ages and how it changes and what ages you should start treatment. So it's kind of like an encyclopedia.
Oh, I love that, because I'm turning 40 this year, Debbie, and I am starting to worry. I think it might be the late nights that aren't helping the skin.
Well, yes, it is. And also, you don't know how to look after you. People don't know, not you personally, but people don't know how to look after their skin. They really don't. And when, up to 40, everything's fine, but then things start to fall apart. So if you start doing things now...
That's what I'm scared about.
Doing things now, good moisturiser. The most important thing in the world, though, you've probably heard this, is sunscreen. And that is vital. As long as you wear your sunscreen every day, it doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, put that on, before your foundation, and you'll be fine. It's really, but most foundations have SPFs in them now as well.
Yes, they do.
It's a really good thing. It's a really good thing. Yeah, top tip.
Love that. Love that one. Well, I also want to talk about your book, The Power of Reinvention. This sounds up my street because, again, I think coming out of lockdown, we kind of need a bit of get up and go, and, anything's possible, isn't it?
Well, anything is possible, and I think the thing is, it's about believing in yourself. It's not allowing people to say you can't do that. People say to you, you can't do that. My worst thing ever is when somebody says, be realistic. If you're realistic, you don't do anything, do you? If I'm realistic, I go, oh my goodness me, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. If somebody would have told me 18 months ago, you're going to do an online show that reaches 10 million people, I would have said, well, I wasn't realistic when I started it. I mean, you can't be realistic. The thing that I say to everyone is, just go for it. Whatever you really want to do, go for it. You can achieve whatever you like. I mean, why not? Everything that you see around you, every table, every chair, every window was thought about by somebody, wasn't it? Every single thing.
Yes.
So when you think of it like that,
law of attraction.
Possible. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm feeling inspired now, Debbie. I'm loving it. I'm thinking, And so your next song choice, The Beach Boys, Good Vibrations. What a tune. Why this one?
Oh, why the Beach Boys? Well, actually, I really wanted Disney Girls. It's just the most beautiful song, and if you haven't heard it, you really should hear it. But when I was married to my first husband, sounds like Zsa Zsa Gabor when I was married to my first husband, darling. But we went and we saw the Beach Boys at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was probably one of the best nights of my life. They came on stage and people were throwing beach balls around the auditorium and fireworks, and I love the Beach Boys.
Wow, yeah, we love it here on the show as well. Check this out.
I love the colorful clothes you wear.
Now, your last song choice, Debbie, save the best to last. The Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Why this song?
Yeah, why the Beatles? I mean, anybody my age, my era, They were just the best. And when I hear that, my heart actually just sings, because it just brings back my whole childhood. It was just wonderful. I mean, all of the Beatles songs were just the best, and we were just so lucky to have them. And I was madly in love with Paul McCartney. I wrote him a letter when I was about 7, and I waited for him to answer for many years. And many years later, actually, I was at a dinner party, and I was asked by a friend of actually was a boyfriend. And Paul and Linda were at this dinner party, and I couldn't speak, and I sat beside him, and I couldn't say anything at all. And then I thought, oh goodness, I clear the table so I don't have to be with him. And he started to clear the table with me, and we stood there doing the washing up together, me and Paul McCartney. How bizarre is that?
What a story!
Yes, I met him. I know.
Wow.
I've got some
I
very
know, we
weird
can't
ones, but
possibly top that
weirdest.
ever on the show. That is fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Debbie. We've loved hearing your stories and talking about Wonderbirds, which we want everyone to check out. We're going to put details on the screen below, and also the Beauty Angels with Linda Lasardi as well. So do check that out. But Debbie, thank you so much. It's been great to have you. And I'm sorry we didn't get to see your dogs as well, but love to them.
Well, no, next time they'll come on. They'll have a bark. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there it is. On cue.
See?
Look at that. Look at that. Thank you so much. It's Debbie Arnold, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, huge thank you, Debbie Arnold, for being such a wonderful guest on tonight's show. Now we're going to leave you with Debbie's last song choice, The Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and I will see you same time, same place next week.
Understand when I say that song.